Eli.
I know. It's wild.
Hey, we're live. We're here talking about stuff. We're with our friend Eli, Redwetskeleton. He was at Adepticon and we're gonna talk about that because we weren't at Adepticon.
Hell yeah.
Ha ha ha.
Yeah,
Hey
the
guys.
sound seems to work, so that's good.
That's good.
It works.
Okay,
Alright,
is the sound good?
I mean, I don't know
Maybe
if
not
it's good, but it
good.
is working. Well, let's just go into the podcast recording thing so we don't repeat stuff. So are people ready?
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah. It's time to kick ass, touch ass.
Kicking ass and touching.
Kicking ass and touching ass.
Hey,
Which
everybody.
oh shit, sorry.
We don't condone.
Alright, hey everybody, welcome to Turbolasers, a miniature wargaming podcast from the people behind the blog Between the Bolter and Me. I'm your host, Eric Wire, and I'm here with my two brothers, Adam Wire
Hey everybody.
and Greg Wire.
Hey everyone.
And I'm excited we have a special guest today, and this is our good friend Eli, or Redwetskeleton on Instagram. Nice to have you, Eli.
Hello. Thank you for having me. Wonderful to be here.
Yeah, no, it's always great to have you. You were recently on the podcast to talk about your crazy, disgusting, and amazing demons, which have been finally featured at least a little bit on the blog. But I really want to thank you for that again. It was a fun conversation.
Oh no, thank you so much. That was a wonderful conversation. I very much enjoyed it, and
Yeah.
a lot of people have come up and talked to me about it since. So it's been very
That's
good.
really nice to hear. But I guess we wanted to use this opportunity to chat with you again for two things. One of which is that you've started to do a lot of streaming on YouTube yourself, and or like created a YouTube channel and have had your first video, and we wanted to allow you to kind of talk about that and speak about, like, what you hope to accomplish with it and what's in store, and also to talk about Adepticon. Like, you were able to go to Adepticon this year. We unfortunately were not able to, but maybe we can live vicariously a little bit through you and just hear how it went. Hopefully it was a good experience and maybe allowed you to network and chat with a bunch of people that you can collaborate in your new creative ventures. But yeah, with that, take it away.
Oh man, there's so much to unpack there.
Yeah, sorry.
But yeah, no, it's they're all there's so many. I'm just like, oh my gosh, do I talk about the YouTube channel or do I talk about Adepticon first? Because that's kind of like, I I think the whole thing with like Adepticon and like me as a person in general is it's just like anyone who like doesn't really know me, I feel like when they meet me, there is a very like a high chance that they're about to have like maybe one of the most intense conversations that they're going to have in like the next 5 days, and they don't know that. but I've been having a similar conversation where it kind of involves me like walking up and introducing myself and then doing a magic trick where I like gut myself and tell you all the most sad things, and I'm just like, so that's why I kind of want to fix the world. I accidentally sought ego death and I succeeded. And now I realize that everybody is a lot like me and I should try to give a shit more. My name's Eli. Do you want to be friends? And a lot of people were like, fuck yeah. And that was a really good thing for like, intros for like other companies. Like I'm really, really excited about that. I met
amazing.
Yeah, no, thank you. It's really weird. I literally was talking to Tim, who was in the game with Adam and I last year, and Tony and Johnny and Vince, the big crazy one where everything went to shit.
Yeah.
I literally I left walking from Dave Taylor. Like I went to go meet my friend archery, and she wasn't there. So I was like, oh, okay, I'll go and see who I can find down. And as soon as I turn around, Dave Taylor just pops out and he's just like, Eli. And I'm like, oh my gosh, Dave Taylor. And he hugs me and I'm hugging him and we're all laughing and giddy like two little schoolgirls. And it's wonderful. And again, this is another part where I'm just like, my life has become so fucking surreal and just yep, I'm just so many people got to experience me just coming up and just very calmly being like, oh, by the way, I have emotional dysregulation. So I might start crying mid conversation, but my face looks fine. And then I'll just kind of wipe it away. But yeah, I'm okay. I realize now, after I think it was Clay Paris, Super Claymation, who I wrote up there with, I think he was like, yeah, I got to tell you, that's pretty intense. Most other people, actually, no one I've ever met does that. So that might be why some people aren't as eager to just reveal their deepest, darkest secrets and traumas. And just, I was like, yeah, that's true. I'm not asking for that.
Yeah.
I'm not asking for other people's secrets. I find that I can't help but want to find people that I think can help me do what I want. And I think I made a lot of connections at Adepticon by literally talking to my friend Dave and going from the person that he recommended to, running into someone else. And then they say, oh my God, you got to go talk to so-and-so. And then from there to there, it's just a trail of friends of friends of friends. And the one that I mentioned to you guys while I was there, it was just I think you all had literally 5 minutes after she had walked away, texted me and been like, hey, how's the networking going? And it's just well, about 20 minutes ago, I walked away from Tim and Pickle Breath and I said, yeah, I'm just trying to, see all who, shares my values and kinds of things. And they're like, no, you're going to do great. You're really going to do it. We believe you. We know you're that kind of guy. You could do this. And I'm like, thanks. And I walk over and I'm talking to the Brushes Unlimited guys. And about 15 to 20 minutes later, I run back into Tim in Pickle Breath in the Grimdark hallway. And I now have someone that runs a nonprofit that they build silent rooms for people that have oversensitivity at conventions and deal with invisible disabilities and helping represent literally the people that I was just talking about 20 minutes ago. It's just oh, hey, this is someone who runs that nonprofit. I'm on my way to go introduce them to the Hive Scum Boys. I'm Grimdark Jesus. And this is also while I'm going there. So yeah, part of me was just that wild little animal I get to be at Adepticon, but at the same time, it was also really different because I could clearly see meeting people like Jackson, which I don't know if you all have met Jackson Hollow Bodies.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He is wonderful and beautiful, charming minx. I want to make sure that he hears me say that he's a beautiful minx. That was his tip. He's like, oh yeah, minx is the word you're looking for. I was just oh, you Australian, ooh, you bastard. Shit, I lost where I was going with that. Jackson.
Didn't he give us the Froggo chocolates?
That sounds like something he would do.
Froggo, the corporate Froggo that sold out.
The corporate
Yeah, the corporate chill Froggo.
And
that's good.
Smaller and smaller every year.
Yeah. So,
that's real good.
Actually, everybody, it seems like the teams haven't. I don't know if any.
Oh shit.
Oh.
I'm not actually on
I'm
the stream.
not watching. It's fun. I would say we just keep going.
Is my mic fucking up or?
No.
No.
Okay.
I'm apparently dropping.
No, I did see that. I did see that in the background.
Started out. Oh.
Also, I don't know.
I don't remember what I was talking about, Jackson.
We could.
He's a beautiful minx. It was before the minx.
Just keep going and we'll have the recording that I have. Yeah, I maybe call them Froggo. It's Freddo. Fredo, yeah.
But yeah, Jackson. I met Jackson,
The
and
chocolate frog Fredo. Yeah.
I don't know what I was talking about. Shit. I love forgetting what I'm talking about mid sentence.
I would say let's just keep going. Yeah.
Hell yeah, let's pile through. Any idea what I was roughly talking about?
Yeah, but I don't know. Chocolate frog Fredo
Networking,
is a fine
violent.
chocolate.
You were talking about running into a bunch of cool people doing things to
Oh,
help
that's what it
bring
was.
on
That's what it was.
people
Jackson said,
or go on.
sorry. No, that's what it was. Jackson made the comment that I found very funny because it is very true. That he said I had the most drippin' jacket there, but when you go up and talk to me, I am the quietest, shyest, sweetest person. It's just like I'm just like, oh hi, I'm Eli, and it's just like, yeah, that's there's definitely a difference. I think a very stark difference when Johnny shows up and like we're in the same room, and then I get to be a trash boy, and I feel safe. Like
Yeah.
like if you guys aren't there and Johnny's not there, like if I don't have like my super party crew, I'm
Sing
like,
a
okay.
Matero or something.
Yeah, if I don't have
Like
someone
going on
there,
our way downtown together.
I can't fully embrace the wildness, which is probably for the best because I actually got a fuck ton done. So that was good. But yeah, no, I made a lot of connections that I'm really excited because they're not like, oh yeah, I'm gonna make a lot of money. They're like, oh, you share the same values as me. One, I'm excited because I already liked your products. Two, now I'm like confirmed you and I want the same thing, which is like a better community, not a pile of gold to sit on. Um,
Yeah.
and there's
That's much better.
yeah, that's I don't know. I'm just so excited. The amount of people that really clearly I could tell were like, yeah, no, I'm all about that. And if you can do this, you tell me what you need and you've got it. And I'm just like, fuck yeah, oh, I'll be in touch. So now I'm just piecing together all these pieces. So yeah, it's
That's amazing, and I think it's something that I feel on our blog and this podcast we've tried to convey at least to some extent over the years that like it it's really worth it to try to put yourself out there a little bit because like the more you do and the more passionate you like express the things you're doing and your drive to do it, I think it really resonates with other people and it's easier to connect. Like I'm so glad we started our blog and this podcast years ago because it has really changed my life for the better in like a huge way. Met some of my like best friends like yourself and just I don't know, it's just
it
so
it would
life
be
affirming.
very yeah. Not to toot your guys' horn too much, but I mean at the same point in time, I can't stress enough. No one can toot your all's horn enough. You guys are such good people. Like
Well, thank you.
I'm not gonna get emotional here, but it would be absolutely fucking wild to see the actual amount of people that you all have had an impact on. Like if you all didn't have your blog, we wouldn't know each other. But like not only would we not know each other, I wouldn't know Johnny. Like I wouldn't know anybody that like I have like met. Like you all are like the very first people that like I made a connection with. Like we both wanted to add more realism into the setting in the story and in the models.
Yeah.
And that's where we were just like, yep, that's what we want. And that's like from there, just kind of spurred off. But it's absolutely insane the people that I have got to meet through you all. Uh, Unbelievable to the point that it's just like my life feels unreal, like a fever dream
Well,
at
that's
times.
nice. And I mean that I don't know, that no small part in just due to yourself, your passion and drive, but like it is just wonderful to yeah, just meet different people and form these connections because it makes the hobby so much more fulfilling and worthwhile and something that can, at least for me, allow me to escape from the kind of
Mm-hmm.
horrors of everyday life, but like have, a great support network that accepts you for who you are and like is excited to see the things you're exploring and like want to collaborate
And
with
even
you
if the
and do
things
stuff.
that you are exploring are also horrors, they're perhaps different horrors from the
Yeah.
ones that you're facing each day, though perhaps they're certainly influenced by your experiences with the
Hmm.
horrors that you're facing in your everyday life.
Yeah.
Well,
No,
about
absolutely.
horrors, like I hear it on good authority that one of the horrors you created ended up in one of the golden demon cabinets for a time. Like, would you like to
It
talk a
it
bit about that?
it was there. Um, I don't know. I don't know how much I do want to talk about
That's fine.
it
But
because
congratulations, you
thank
found
you.
something in the case.
I mean,
Creepy,
actually, I'll talk about
sneaky.
it. I'll talk about it. Yeah, no, I'd love to talk
What
about it.
what encouraged you to put it like? What had you gone to Adepticon? Like, how many of your child inverted kind of demons did you bring, and did you have an intent from the beginning that you wanted to enter one, or was that like kind of something that spawned
So
from other people, like, hey, let's go enter some stuff we have, or
it was intentional. I wanted to since I've been doing my streams in the mornings, like my morning hobby hang, you can kind of just like watch over time me slowly working on frustration, which is the demon that I entered into the golden demon category, the open category. Um which I it,
best category.
it was not what I wanted to enter it in. Like it's the only one that they would let it be entered in, and
Yeah,
I
it's nice.
cannot stress enough. I don't know. I think I am just such a good car salesman that I talked my way in.
Like, did
But
they want to like not accept it? Like,
well, they just, I mean, you all have seen it, so
What
it's
do
yeah,
you
I
just
mean,
like you
think?
look at
it's
it and you're
pretty
just like,
horrific.
what the fuck is even that?
Like,
Uh,
why is there all this hair here? And is this a skull?
yeah, like they were just like, okay, so is it a Tyranid? And I was like, no. So it's I was
Part of
wanting
it's
to put it in the Horus Heresy category for large figure, large model because it is, and that was another thing is like I intentionally made all of my demons for Vestarian based on the sizes for demons from the Demons of the Ruinstorm army. That way I could use them if I wanted to play 30K. So having like already known all this, I was just like, yeah, no, and this just like came
obviously
out.
that. Yeah,
This
yeah.
just came out. I was just like, yeah, no, it's a
Can't you
demon,
tell?
greater demon beast of the Ruin Storm. There is no official model. Games Workshop does not make one. You have
Yeah.
already said in the document for it that it has to be made and all the acceptable and even reference what models could be used. And then in the event like description itself, um, it followed all of the criteria. And he said he was like, okay, and he's like, there's no 3D model parts or blah, blah, blah. And we were discussing everything. And I was like, I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. There are 3D printed parts, but they are absolutely covered in glue and like baking soda and hermit crab sand and literal blood. And like,
Yeah.
it's caked in there. Nobody is,
Like, you
and I
can't
think
really pick it out.
yeah, that's I think literally what I said to him was I wanted to put this in there because I worked very hard on it and it is an art competition that, it meets the guidelines
Yeah.
and I no one can go buy this. You're not losing a
Hmm.
sale because, oh,
I
it's blah blah
guess,
blah. I was like,
yeah.
this is I just want to put it in there so people know this is there. And the guy who pretty much like did my paperwork and stuff was just like, yeah, no, because you all know me immediately. I'm not like an asshole. I was just like, hey man, I'm not trying to be a dick, like, or a rules lawyer with you guys, like, blah blah blah.
Yeah,
You know, my normal spiel that I always do because I'm just an anxious person. And he was like, "Oh no, I didn't think anything about that." He was just like, "I want this in. This is awesome." He was like, "I just have to get my boss to say that it's okay." And yeah, no. So then like his boss comes over and he's just like, "So what's going on here?" And then we do the whole thing again. I explain.
yeah,
And the part that I love the most is, and this is the part where I was just like, I don't know if I can. At some point, it's just like, can I say that? Like, I like meta art. You guys know that. So there is something very, very meta to me about putting any of my demons into an art contest because it's literally the only piece of art in the entire contest.
yeah.
Everything else is the model that is painted. Um, and I find that very, 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 very funny. I find it even funnier that its name is Frustration. And it's even funnier that it is literally my my commentary on fragile male masculinity in the hobby. And like it's just the jokes just keep going. And that's why I was like, yeah, I enjoyed my stay at Golden Demon. I won't be allowed back. I'm very aware.
Well, I guess I
This
don't. To
isn't
me,
what
it's
they're looking for.
I don't understand.
Yeah,
It's like you look at that, like, what is that? It's probably a demon. Really, like, what else could
oh
it
yeah,
be? And like, I thought the whole point of it was essentially like celebrate their games and their
the
IP
hobby.
with and like
Yeah,
your own expression of the
Creative.
hobby. So to me, it's
Yeah.
like I don't
yeah,
understand why they would show that. It's not like
yeah,
you're a recreation of like a sculpt some just
yeah.
something like
No, it
it's
was
like
like a purely original kind of thing, and they were
It
just like,
wasn't created by
nah,
an AI. It wasn't. Yeah. Well, I'm glad you were able to enter it. That's
no.
nice.
Thank you. I was trying to
Even if
find
it wasn't what they were looking for.
I was trying to find a picture that someone that Clay posted of me that whoo boy. I feel like this summarizes my vibe. And my vibe especially about that whole situation. Uh it is when I went into the main room and saw where the Space Marine statue is.
oh,
Was
okay.
it the big Terminator? Was that back?
I
Uh-huh.
think it was back.
It was back. And they put a fence around it so I couldn't get to it this year because
Oh
they didn't like
God.
my joke, even though they used the same joke today. It took them a year to use the joke that I gave them. But I made a much bigger joke this year, I think. So, but
Incredible.
thank you. Ingenious designs.
Ingenious, always. Always.
I just
Yo.
I love that Clay's got that picture because it's just like the most shit-eaten grin. Like, it's definitely a I'm up to no good laugh.
That's great. Yeah, that big statue looks terrible, but I mean it's a Terminator, so what do you expect?
Yeah, I mean, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
Yeah, it's just not.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I ranted and raved about a whole bunch of stuff.
Nah, it's what you're here for.
Oh, that's I could rant and rave about more stuff if you want.
Yeah, I mean, why not? Did you bring like a camera along? Did you bring your uh Z30? I mean, it's not really. It's more of kind of a streaming like vlogger sort of camera, but
No, I brought my like lavalier mics because I thought maybe I would
okay.
do some like recording or like, oh hey, I'll do like a yeah, any of that. I didn't do dick. I never even got them out of the backpack. I was just like, I'm so tired every single day I went back to the room. I was just like, I'm not learning how to use these mics. Why did I think I would do that?
I certainly know that feeling. Like if you were like I have a tendency, or like we in general have a tendency to bring a whole boatload of stuff, and it it really takes a lot of discipline to try to use it or try to find a place you could even do any of that stuff. So like
Hmm.
I understand the difficulty of that. I guess a totally unrelated question. What can you tell me about Sunrod? Like, totally not panicking. Matt was there telling his new game. Like, it looks sick. Like, I'd like to be able to get a copy and
Sunrot.
play it. But yeah,
And
can you chat
well,
about
can I
that?
I
jump in with one thing? He
yeah.
was selling a Smash Bash T-shirt with the Black Flag logo on it.
I saw
Yeah. I didn't even. What's
Like,
really funny is now I just now realize that that's what that was. Like,
Yeah.
but in my head, I was just like, why would I buy a Black Flag like shirt?
bars.
Yeah, I didn't. It didn't even register like that it wasn't a Black Flag shirt. So I didn't even. But now that you
I
mentioned it, like
It
I
did say
like
Smash Bash on it, right?
yeah, it
it
says
did.
Smash Bash on it. Yeah, but it looks
don't
just
let
like it.
Break-In find out
I
about
mean, it's
that.
the Black Flag logo. Like
It's
that's
so good.
Yeah, it's very
No,
much that. Yeah.
no.
Very
Matt
much in
is
the
wonderful.
spirit
Totally
of
not
Black
panicking.
Flag.
Very much. Man, Sunrot is so awesome. I'm so pumped to play Sunrot with you guys at some point. Like probably under the Dice Fest. I would be down. I would be down to play Sunrot there.
So
If
it
not,
is like it's a miniature-based game that uses like a card-based mechanic. Is that correct?
yeah, it is fucking wild. Like I fully didn't understand. I just was like, okay, it's Matt's game. I want to support him, so I was gonna pick it up. But then someone was just like, "Oh no, it's like no, it's not just a card game. It's like a miniatures game." And I was like, "Okay, what now?" And they're like, "Yeah, no, like the cards tell you how to do all this stuff. You still use models and you still use dice." And I was just like, "Okay, well, how does that work?" And the answer is, "Holy shit, it's really fucking cool." Like because and this is again like I need to open them and I'm probably going to be doing that tomorrow like on my stream to just like open them and kind of like go through it while I'm half awake. But honestly, now that I'm saying that, I'm like, maybe I should do something else. But no, that seems like a good thing to do at that time because I got a whole bunch of shit I got to do tomorrow for Trench Crusade. I can't stress enough how impressed I was by. I very clearly could tell that Adam, who was running our game, was a fellow forever GM, forever cursed. Because holy shit, like he clearly was a very good GM. But I think what made it even more nuts is like literally everybody that I was playing with was like just happened to be the stars aligned and it just happened to be like an entire party full of people that are like the most pumped to just like fuck the rules. Let's just use our imaginations. And I think that combination aligned to where like I think the game that I had is probably I don't know if I'll ever have a game that fun because it was like again, it felt like a fucking fever dream that happened to me. Where at one point I went into the void. I went into the void. I was thrown into the void. And when I was thrown back out of the void, I was so blood raged against my own existence that I just beat the shit out of the first thing that I could see. And then all of a sudden I was like, oh, what the fuck? And I get like, I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. And then all these dudes start beating the shit out of me. And I'm like, ah. And then Tony shows up and he's just like, oh, yeah, no, I'm going to help you. And I'm like, cool, cool, cool. But Tony doesn't know I'm a fucking revenant now because my soul got snatched out. And I'm just like, and I'm all swinging at Tony. He's like, oh shit. And then next thing you know, the fucking world, like that's the whole thing about Sunrod is the biggest it's spoiler alert. I'm going to say spoiler alert right here. Just if you don't want any like idea about what the fuck Sunrod is and the biggest like thing that makes it, I think really fucking cool. You should stop here. But it is the timer mechanic, and I'm a sucker for a timer mechanic, and I realize that I'm in the minority because there are very few people that typically like to have more stress added to their life, and I am just a
Yeah.
masochist. I'm very aware of it. I There's just something about knowing that something is going to happen and I have no control over it, and it's impending, that I love, and I love using it even if there's not an actual timer, like in Sunrot. That's such a powerful tool to use as a GM because it creates tension when someone thinks that something is happening. Even if something's not, it just changes the way that they play. But the thing about Sunrod is every 10 minutes, the world fucking changes on a cataclysmic level. And it varies depending on the cards that are drawn from what I am understanding. But it happens every 10 minutes and there is a timer set. And it's not paused. Like it's just, okay, 10 minutes. And then we start playing again. And, being as polite as possible when the timer goes off, it's pretty much, okay, shut the fuck up. This is what happens. And you can tell me what you were going to do on your turn once the world gets, where it's finally repositioned. But essentially, it was just a lot of me being thrown into the void, coming out like this insane, enraged berserker, punching until I become a ghost. And then this time warp happens and I get like thrown up into like I'm pretty sure it was through that they were trying to, like, there was this time loop that kept fucking happening. And again, this is what's so interesting about it is Matt, it's the same thing as with Merkborg, at least in my brain. It's the same thing that Merkborg does with my brain, where it like splits it, and it's just like I don't think about it from like a rule standpoint. I think about it more anomalous. Like, and that's really like Matt really nailed the just lack of telling you what the fuck to imagine. He does not tell you what to imagine. He has just these very, I think, loose descriptions, these loose archetypical ideas that when you read them, they make your brain work, but it's so good because it's a interactive story first and foremost. And I think Matt has found a really good way to at least let other GMs, I don't know how well it is or easy it is for other people to pick up and know, because that Merkborg, very clearly, a lot of people don't understand how to play Merkborg or how to run Merkborg. Like they need rules. So I need to look at the cards, but I am always impressed when someone is able to make a game that like I feel like plays itself, that we're all just kind of imagining and rolling dice, but like really we don't need the dice and we don't need the cards as anything other than like hints at where we should use our imaginations to move this story. And that's what Matt and Adam and I kind of, and Victoria, were ranting about, is how great it is that the game that I played will never be played again. Like the one that we had, no one will play that same game because of the way that the GM interprets and the way that the players interpret. And that was one thing I loved about how Adam ranted, is he would read a card, and very specifically the time lapse one. He read what it said, and Victoria said, "Oh, so blank, blank, blank," and that's not what it was. And Adam said, "Yes," and that completely changes everything. But it was one of the most memorable games I've ever like played. That it was on par with the game that we had last year, where like, I mean, within 5 minutes I was out of the game, but it was just like, this was the craziest shit that I did not ever in my life imagine being where the story was going to go. But through like narrative gaming and all of us not wanting to win or lose, like we just developed these crazy narrative stories. It's so fun. That was a very long tangent, but I think
is it a game that's designed typically that you have multiple models, like a warband, or like it can vary? Like 'cause it sounds like
so.
in this one, you multiple people each were maybe.
Yes. So each of us had a character. Like I was a fighter and Tony was a fighter. And I think that the normal game is for 3 people. I think it is for a GM and 2 friends, or maybe it might be a GM and a friend. And then the expansion adds 2 more people. But essentially, I think that's it. I think it's 1 and a friend, and then an expansion adds 2. And I think what they did, just because they were trying to have as many people playing as possible, they just added more character expansions. But essentially, I think there are, or maybe there's just 4. Maybe there's 4. I don't know. I need to open the things and look at them. But I think there were 4. There was a cleric, a wizard, a fighter.
Yeah.
I
Okay. Yeah.
I want to say that was about it. But maybe there was a 4th one. I don't remember. I was a fighter and I was just punching things and being thrown into the void and turning into a ghost and hating God and being guts. And then I finally was like, okay, I think maybe I was a ghost the whole time. And like my body is just like, because at the end, like my ghost body got thrown down into the catacombs. And I was like,
No.
holy shit, with the time lapse, like, did I actually start there? Did I start there and like I worked my way out and like I actually have been a ghost this whole time? And it's just like, no, they worked something else out, but it was really good. I would have been fine either way. Very fun, very wild. That's that. Sorry.
I mean, that sounds great. It sounds like more copies are going to be available for purchase at Under the Dice Fest, and I think it will eventually get kind of a wider release as well. But yeah,
Awesome.
I think looks cool. People should follow Totally Not Panicking, the Smash Bash fame if you haven't, and yeah, look into his game.
He had a box that was labeled teeth and it was $5. And if you gave him $5, you reached into the box while people chanted teeth. And depending on what color tooth you pulled out, you got a different grab baggie. I always get excited to help people chant teeth specifically.
Yeah, I mean,
so
that's
every time I would hear it, I would just be like teeth, 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 regardless of where I was. So that also might have been why people were like, I don't want to talk to that guy.
But so Sun
That's a
Ra
joke.
sounds pretty neat in that it's taking maybe the conventions of the tabletop war game and expanding it beyond that in
Mhm.
ways that are perhaps more narrative and interesting. Um, I feel
Yeah.
like on one of these podcast episodes, I remarked how I wasn't sure that any of Games Workshop's games were capable of telling good stories. But that might
N-
be being overly cynical. But
Not until you go into the specialist games, or sorry, box set games. I don't know. They might be called something else now. I haven't gone to that website since they
Do
redid
it.
it and made it absolutely impossible for like me to use. Like, not only do I not want to use it, but it's like it's hard to.
Yeah.
They fucked up. They should have not let an AI design their site. I'm assuming that's what they did because that's how fucking bad it is.
I
You
think
can at me on that, Games Workshop.
this didn't.
I feel like they keep redesigning it every few years, and
It
they
keeps getting
somehow,
shittier.
or I feel like it has always been quite bad.
Oh, it's always
Yeah.
been bad. I honestly don't know if it has gotten any better though since like
Or yeah, I wonder if
2006.
maybe it just gets worse.
Yeah, I think it's just gotten worse. But that's just that. I could punch up all day though.
I guess another thing you mentioned was, did you get to talk to people about Trench Crusade? Like, did you? Because it seems like they had a pretty big group of people there. They had a bunch of props and things of that nature, which seems
They
cool.
did. It was crazy, and their booth was like the craziest. So I I pretty much went to Trench Crusade first, I think. Because I was like, well, I got to get this over with because I want to have like the most energy when I meet these guys, because I'm gonna get there on I went Wednesday or Thursday. I don't remember which day. Whatever was the first day that they were like there, because I wanted to be one of the first people they talked to, so they weren't just completely mentally exhausted.
Yeah.
So I didn't like talk to them too much. I just I met Mike and told him, which that's another thing. It's just like telling Mike, just like, oh yeah, I've been like following your work for like either a decade and a half or 2 decades. I don't remember how long it's been. I've loved Mike's work since I first started to be able to recognize it. Like when I would see it, I'd be like, oh yeah, it's that dude. And then eventually I was like, oh, that's Mike. But his work is just so my jam. Like there's so many things that I've saved that I've just from following him like on his blog or elsewhere. I'll just like have a picture that'll be, I'm like, hell yeah, and I'll use that for like inspiration for like my own shit. So like meeting him and being like, oh man, I've been following you for however long. It's just so awesome to meet you. And then him being like, really? Like him just not thinking that anyone would even know who the hell he is. Like, at least that's the impression that I got. It was very, very humble, and I liked that. I liked that a lot. And then Tomas was, of course, a wonderful treat to talk to, especially when I asked about and that's the whole thing. With Trench Crusade, I had a very, very firm opinion, and that was fuck Nazis. And I just kind of stuck my head in a hole until now. But when I pulled my head out of the hole, they were like, oh yeah, no, they dealt with that. And it's just like, okay, well, I'm gonna talk to them like in a month or two. I'm gonna hold off all of my things until I can literally like talk to the guys who made the game and see and get their take on it. And asking Tomas, I could tell.
Actually, for clarification,
Mhm.
when you say with this about Trench Crusade, fuck Nazis, can you, for the listener who may not be familiar
Yeah.
with it, like what was your fear about Trench Crusade and the aesthetic, and perhaps some of it perhaps was attracted to it?
Yeah, so Trench Crusade, because it is grim and it is dark and it does use real world religion. And I have ranted, I ranted on my channel about that, that I don't think it's a good idea, but that honestly, they have not done anything different than Merkborg has. And I fucking love Merkborg. And they've not done anything different than Doom has or Diablo. And there's a lot of reasons for that. Literally, Mike is the guy who made the fucking demons for Diablo 2 through 4. Like, his art goes so hard. It's so rad. So it's just Mike being like, hey, all my really metal shit, but in like World War One. And I'm like, fuck yeah, that sounds really great. Unfortunately, a lot of people were like, oh, so it's just like a bunch of this like crusaders, right? Just like for Jesus. And it's just like, get the fuck on out of here.
Yeah.
No, it's a bunch of people that were very pro World War II, the kind of guys that like, oh yeah, I really like doing stuff in World War II setting because I like to fucking make tiger tanks covered in swastikas. Like people that are like, okay, you like the hobby because you can pretend to be a Nazi because you're a Nazi. Fuck off. And I did very much enjoy like when I mentioned to Tomas, I was like, yeah, we have I'm Eli. I wanted to meet you. Here's a sticker. We have a lot of mutual friends. And he was like, oh yes, the Whiters. He was like, Alexander is coming to work for us. And I was like, yeah, no, I'm really, really stoked about that. I love Alexander. He's, we've been friends for years. Like he's the guy who got me to start using Untapped, which that's a weird thing. That's another. It's just like, oh yeah, this guy on the other side of the world, it's just like, he's like, hey, you should start using this thing so we can compare beers. And then I stopped doing it. But yeah, no, talking to Tomas was really good because I absolutely you know who I am. So I was just like, hey, I wanted to come and talk to you about all this Nazi shit that happened. And I feel like I'm probably the only person who did that in hindsight, because most people probably are not just that confrontational. But his response was so good. He was like, yes, no, we shut that down. He was just like, he responded in the answer that I needed him to respond with. And, everyone that was a part of the Trench Crusade team has a very firm, they have the same opinions that I do. They have the same anti-misogynistic stance. And like further that, I reached out to Alexander because I did not have enough time because they were so swamped to like really talk to those other guys. And I already do have an existing relationship with Alexander. I wanted to reach out to him and tell him what I was wanting to do. And, he was very, very excited. So I am very, very, very excited to like hit the ground running with my plan, which is essentially, I really want to show that gaming is for everybody. And I want to make a space where I can show people how to play games, the kind of games that like they hear about from like Inc. 28 events, like narrative gaming, like Games Workshop and other companies. I'm not singling anybody out, everybody. It's difficult to write a book of a game and then tell people how to use their imagination, because that is a skill
it's true.
That's not a skill that like a lot of people some don't even have. Some people don't have a mind's eye. There's so many factors. And I love to teach. And I love the challenge of trying to explain something in a way that everybody can understand, no matter how complicated it is. But I love to play games also, and I know other people like to play games. So it's just like I really want to pick games that I enjoy playing, that I think are fun, and that I know are made for everybody. Like they didn't pick Trench Crusade. I mean, Trench Crusade, well, yeah, it can be a little dividing because it's got some really metal artwork. They didn't just say half of you can't be the main character in our universe. Fuck you. Like that's, I don't know. I've just gotten to the point that I've hit that where I will say Games Workshop pissed me off. The fact that I realized very recently that they had the very prime opportunity with Primaris, and they decided that they cared more about people's money who have pretty close-minded opinions than everybody else. And that's cool, but that's why I'm going to make a channel where I show you how to take Games Workshop models and turn them into Trench Crusade.
With that comment, you're talking about how they had the opportunity to have Primaris not.
Yeah, they fucked up. The Primaris, the way that they handle that in the lore is the stupidest way you could possibly handle it. And then to not only double down on the stupid, but to not fix something core fucking dumb. Like, I don't know. I think after that, the story just went to complete dog shit. And maybe I'm being too woke on that, but I don't think I am, because I guarantee that the shit that I'm about to make for Trench Crusade will make Warhammer 40K look like some real soft shit.
I feel, and we've probably talked about this at different times before, but a thing that I like about Warhammer is it's different to every person. Like I have thoughts of what I think Warhammer is based on my experiences with it when I'm younger. And I don't even pay attention to what's happening with the lore now because I don't care. And I assume that it's going to be bad. But I haven't read any of it to know really.
Yeah. And that's sorry.
Or I was just gonna say it seems to me people make a big deal about Warhammer being grim and dark, but a lot of how it's presented, at least miniature wise and imagery wise, doesn't feel grim and dark.
No.
I mean, people like yourself and others in the Inc. 28 community have made efforts to try to make it grim and dark. But I don't know that Games Workshop has done it, at least not recently. And I mean, I do understand that they're trying to make something that's marketable to lots of
everyone.
So
To
I get
add
that
value
it's
to
not
the
gonna be grim
to
and
the
dark.
shareholders.
Oh man,
But I
I
saw
can't
some
talk
image.
too much.
This is a comment about Trench Crusade, but I saw some images about how they had a Lee Enfield rifle that
Hmm.
they had modified, and they replaced the scope with a glass tube with a bone in it. And I think their idea was like, obviously that wouldn't work as a scope. But I
hmm
think the idea was that, all right, these people, these snipers or whomever, they're going on blind faith that they're going to be able to hit whatever they want. So like
With
that
this,
kind of
like,
takes the idea of like that is a fucking ridiculous idea to put that on as a scope. And it kind of feels like a thing that Games Workshop would do, where somebody would take the idea of what a gun looks like and they'd look at a bunch of guns, but then like replace some shit to like make it look different and not realize that they're replacing it with things
yes.
that would
So
make it not work. Where here is they're taking a thing and replacing the scope with it, making
intention.
it work, but like that is the actual idea. Whereas a
Yeah,
lot of times with Games Workshop, it's they're taking imagery and modifying it to make it different, but then make
Like
something that
mistakenly,
like
you
we
know.
accidentally flipped the bolter pieces upside down, and we will not admit it. Like,
Yeah, that's fair.
or wait, did they? Did they finally just say, "Yeah, we did, and we're not gonna
Yeah,
fix
I
it"?
think I think they eventually just changed it and are selling it like a more corrected version for some of that Space Wolf shit. Or maybe they're still wrong. I don't know.
It's wild. Like I'm sure, and I'm not dunking on anybody, but it's just crazy. Like the people that just had adeptically to Games Workshop and paid like manufacturer price when there was just like so many discount places like selling the same thing for, but it's just like people like to spend money there, man.
Yeah, I mean, I
Comfort in
guess
something
retail
that you.
therapy is the thing.
What now?
I said that.
I didn't hear what Adam said.
I said there's comfort in stuff that.
That is true. That is true.
Yeah, I guess.
You don't have to worry about weirdos trying to sell you teeth or me. I didn't mean to come out as hot.
Nah, it's good.
Maybe I
Well,
did.
maybe for the last thing, we could talk a little bit about your live streams and your streaming, the kind of what you're hoping to do with that. And like I think it was through Instagram I saw, or you got a whole trove of Elgato streaming equipment and microphones and
hmm
bands and such. You have a Nikon Z30 to record stuff. Like that's all very exciting. I like technology and
Yeah,
recording gear and things of that nature. So that excites me.
I'm very excited. Like I think the camera is super good. And same thing with the mic. But yeah, I got two of these mics because I definitely wanted to be able to have, someone over, like if I have a guest, so I
Hmm.
could record. And then I got this prompter, which is great because now I can look directly at the camera. These lights, and then a bunch of different arms and stuff that I am planning on because I'm in my basement. I've got these, I guess they're not 2x4s. I'll just say they're 2x4s, but they're like, they go across the struts of my ceiling. And I've got a bunch of Gundams and stuff. Like, I use it for storage. It's like under the floor,
Hmm.
crazy grandpa storage. But I have a bunch of Elegoo. Where did they go? Not Elegoo. Elgato.
I don't actually know
Uh,
how it's pronounced.
yeah, Elgato. I'm assuming like
I
a cat.
honestly don't know.
If it's not Elgato, I'm gonna be sad because like the mic that I have is called the Wave, but then like the semicolon or no colon and then a 3, which is like kitty face. Um, So it's got to be
I like the
Elgato.
sound of
I don't know where the hell
Elgoo.
my mounts went. Elegoo. So Elegoo is the brand that makes my resin printers that I've got.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, Elegoo. Yeah, I have no idea where the hell I put my mounts, but I got a bunch of Elgato mounts that actually, you drill into the wall or the ceiling, and then they have like a flexible arm. So then I will be able to like have the camera come down at any angle to really kind of get in, or because they all use the same mount, I could put the lights, I could put a microphone. There's just a lot of things you could put wherever to really get like shots that will really kind of build like atmosphere. I really want to make like a narrative kind of game that at least kind of shows it the way that like my imagination sees it. At least, like the kind of shots that we try to get of like, oh, when you're telling the story, it's like, yeah, get a shot of him when he's like coming through that tunnel. That looks good. That kind of stuff, being able to do those kind of angles. But yeah, I really want to be able to just go hog wild and show every step of how I do what I do and how I play the games after. Like, yeah, I'm just really excited because like all of the stuff is it works together. So that's like one less thing that I have to learn how to do. So
Yeah, that's good. Like,
that's the main thing.
you don't the less time you have to spend messing with stuff and updating firmware and see if it like breaks some other component, the better. Like you want to put your time with like the creative endeavors and such and not get too hung up on stuff like that. So I think that should be good. That should be good.
No, absolutely. I'm really excited. I will have to have whenever you guys are next down here. We'll have to do something.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. I really want to try and turn my house into like one of those spots where it's just like, when Nick Cordall came over from, England, it's just like stayed with you and you all. It's just like I would like to be a stop on the way for 28 community as they move across. Stop here, stay, be on the
Stay a while and listen.
recording, make some games, have a good stay, live with me forever.
Just a little
Not
bit.
really. Margot is hunting something.
That's nice.
I don't like it. I don't like that there's something she can hunt down here.
That's fair. That's fair. Are you working on any other videos and such? You have a first like YouTube video that's kind of an introduction for like have you started some other videos or do you have a sense of I know that's the whole process and lots of things to
So
do
pretty
that I
much
have little experience with.
pretty much like today it was just getting back to try and get because I like always I packed half of the shit in my studio, my shop, like and went with it to Adepticon. I didn't take anywhere as much as I took last time, but it still was like a good couple hours putting it all up. And then pretty much it's now just planning out where I want to put these mounts. So I can start really like just doing it. And that was something that I think tomorrow I'm honestly probably just going to just be streaming like most of the day. Like I'm just gonna start working on like showing how to convert like some models that I have that, just different models that you might have for 40K and how you can just take those and convert them to Trench Crusade models. And I picked up all of the like accessories, like sprues from like my mini factory that were part of the Kickstarter in the attempt of showing that, just by printing or just by having these, you don't even need the models, just have just these accessories. If you can find, someone to print these or, physical ones,
Yeah.
Just put these on your model. Bam! Now you got Trench Crusade. And then after that, I'd like to do. Okay, you just have whatever model, and you don't even need these pieces. I'll show you how to use trash or whatever, and bam, there you go. Like I kind of want to do a everybody can do this, and then masterclass version.
Yeah.
And then I want to do that
cool
for like
idea.
all of the war bands, and then like boards, because like again, it's like this is my jam. Like a lot of people may be doing like Trench Crusade, but it's just like this is literally like a match made in hell for me because it's just like I am a fucking World War One fanatical buff, like, and then again, I'm just a blasphemous little monster. So, literally, yeah, the Sultanate, literally one of their groups is just they memorize the Lesser Book of Solomon. It's just like that's literally like on my shelf, like right over here. I love that book. Very fun. Very fun.
That sounds great. Well, I'm really excited to see what you create and do with all of this, and to see more of your streams and YouTube videos and such. I'm really excited you've embarked on this new facet of your hobby journey, and I think a lot of other people will be excited to see it too.
No, thank you guys so much, and no, yeah, thank you for all the encouragement and support. I really hope to make something worth people's time.
I know you will. Well, thank you. I guess with that, maybe we can draw this episode to a close. But thank you everybody for listening, and thanks again, Eli. Always great.
Thank you.
With you.
Yeah, nice chatting.
Yep.
All right.
Sit pretty.
Everybody. We did it, and it was only about an hour. That's good.
It's only about an hour.
Pretty reasonable.
Johnny. Wait a minute. Are we still live?
We're still live.
Oh no! I was spinning around talking to Marco. Now everyone's gonna know I'm a goofball.
Even though Marco is.
Oh no.
Oh, they definitely know who Marco
Now they
is.
know.
Oh, they know. Marco says, "Who said that?"
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't recognize who said that. Was that Adam? I don't know him.
Yeah.
Margot's too cool. I got a really sweet package from Hydra today, which I was real excited because I was like, "Oh man, how'd you know?" He sent some Trench Crusade stickers, and some Hydra stickers, and a sweet little note, and some color shapers, which are very exciting.
Oh, they're probably the good ones too.
They look fancy.
Yeah. Do you have any original Kickstarter Trench Crusade models, Eli? Cast in like
I only have this guy, the one that I
do you want
printed and then. Oh, sure.
like I have a whole bunch of them. Like I will be honest.
Oh, I mean, if you're not going to do anything with them, I'll take them. That's fun. Yay!
Like the big tall dude with the rifle, like over.
Yeah, the Trench Pilgrim. Hell yeah.
At ones of Medic or whatever crossing or.
Oh hell yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Those. Yeah. Those are all good. No, I'd love any of those.
Ones Iowa.
Yeah, I think the Witch Hunter. No, they're cool. Definitely cool sculpts. I love that every side is just really fucked up. It's like, oh, heaven and hell, but it's just like heaven's just as fucked up.
Yeah, I mean,
I like that a lot.
Here's the little dude holding like another magazine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
We could potentially stop the actual stream sometime.
Good.
assuming
Hmm.
John is here, but we could potentially that could switch to another chat, perhaps.
Yeah, all right. Thanks everybody for joining us. Over and out.